Today I'm exploring another uh, contemporary music score for solo cello. This one is Nomos Alpha by Greek composer Xenakis. So, this is the Boozy and a Hawk score I have. I found it in a free bin of a library. Um, you'll notice that it says 175 in the corner, so I'm assuming it's quite old. And also, it has what appears to be Xenakis's signature on the front. I've never gotten this authenticated, but just from a quick Google search, this is what Xenakis's signature looks like. It looks like kind of easy to fake, but I don't think it's impossible that someone in the US would have encountered Xenakis and gotten his signature. Also, I think it would, considering that the title on this version of the score is just Nomos, I would believe that Xenakis would add the alpha, just to correct the score that he's signing. So, anyways, that's what I like to think happened here. It's a tabloid score in landscape orientation, and the binding is actually a piece of string, which is very strange. And yeah, the score itself isn't in the best condition. You can see here the piece was written in 1965, and on the first page there is the alpha there, whereas on the cover there's no alpha. So, but it's not the alpha symbol, it's just the superscript capital A. I've never really taken the time to look at this thing since I got it. So this work has been printed in facsimile in accordance with the composer's wishes. We have that in 2 other languages, and then we have a program note in French, English, and German. And then we have the performance notes. And then we get into the score. So why don't I just read the program note first in English? So meaning of the title, rule, law, but also in music, a special particular melody and sometimes mode. Symbolic music for solo cello, possessing an extratemporal architecture based on the theory of groups of transformations in it. Use it to make the theory of sieves a theory, which annexes the congruences modulo z, and which is the result of an axiomatic theory of the universal structure of music. This work is an active homage to the imperishable work of Aristophanes of Tarentum, musician, philosopher, and mathematician, and founder of the theory of music, of Évariste Galois, mathematician and founder of the theory of groups, and of Felix Klein, his worthy successor. Written for Siegfried Palm, it was commissioned by Hans Otte of Bremen Radio. Aristophanes, if I'm pronouncing that right, I think was a theorist who wrote about, like an ancient Greek music theorist who wrote about how to like subdivide the tetrachord. So if you're interested in microtonal music, a translation of his work might be worth looking at. But what I do know about Nomos Alpha is that it is based on this idea of cubes nested within one another and rotated, and different musical parameters are assigned to the vertices of these cubes, which then line up in different ways. But yeah, here are the performance notes. It does have quarter tones in it, so the whole tone is divided into 4 parts. Okay, the 4th string of the cello must be gut. Interesting. Short rapid glissandi are indicated by this hook symbol. A equals 440. This is sort of like the glissandi thing, but you're raising a note to create beating. So it's in the context of like playing unisons or octaves, I assume. And the piece is 15 minutes long. It's really substantial. There's the title. And yeah, it's a facsimile, basically. So This is the composer's writing. All the performance notes are down here as well, right? You can see that they're handwritten in French at the bottom of the first page of the score. At the time that this was published, this particular score, Boozy and Hawks also published his string quartet ST4 10800262. His Morsima Amorsima, which is for piano, violin, cello, and bass. It's also subtitled ST/4-1030762. These pieces, I think, are both early, like, algorithmic pieces of his. So, like, a computer spit out the information that was transcribed, hence the numbering scheme. And the ST just means string quartet, I think, in both cases. Aonta, which is a really savage piece by Xenakis. It's one of my favorite pieces of his. Just like really intense piano writing and spatialized brass stuff. It's pretty cool. Like choreographed brass moving around the piano. Herma, we talked about on the channel. And then, of course, this piece, Nomos Alpha, which is the most recent of the 5. So, yeah, very, very cool little score, which is kind of ancient and maybe a little bit water damaged from being in my basement. Yeah, I think I'm just going to jump right into this one today. I don't want the video to be too long. I encourage you to listen in the video at the link in the video description, and I'll cut to me talking about this, my thoughts, hearing it again after a couple of years with this particular score. Okay, yeah, so this is a really exciting score and performance, and I forgot a lot of these interesting moments in the piece, and the notation is also very interesting. I like how it kind of just jumps from one completely different idea to another, and over time your ears get kind of used to this world. Out of the Xenakis pieces we've listened to, I think this is the best so far. I mean, it really is a classic. Like, it's a very big piece of cello repertoire by him. One thing that I was noticing in the score was these indications in the margins. So the first one we get is in a square, we have the word beta, or the symbol beta, and then caret, and then in brackets 1113. And then as you continue along in the piece, like, this square symbol and this caret symbol only appears at the beginning of lines. And sometimes you don't get the square symbol at all. Sometimes there's a little, like, upside down L in it. Sometimes there's an alpha in it. But this caret always comes with 2 coordinates, which makes me think that this has something to do with the sort of like cube construction behind the piece that I was talking about earlier. Again, I don't know exactly how it works, but like on the next page we move to 1111. Then we change the diamond and we go to 1311. And then we get this new symbol here, which can occur in the middle of lines. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of a line. But it's like 2 coordinates that are assigned to the letter Q. So this section is marked Q8 over Q11. Then later here we have Q2 over Q6. And then a change in this coordinate here, 13, 17. So there's some sort of marking in here that explains the composer's process. And if you look at it, they're all different sizes. Here's an alpha one, E squared over L squared, and then coordinates 11, 5. So it seems very elaborate, right? It's like hard to make heads or tails out of it, but Sometimes it's some indication that lasts a whole page, like the previous page. Sometimes it just is a single line. So this single line here. There's one other notation I really liked. I'm not gonna like go through all of them, but yeah, the best example is probably here at the end. So he often notates tremolos, especially like jeté bowing. Instead of like writing out all the note heads, he just gives you the duration, and then at these ticks, you have 32 of them, I think. And then he just says simile. So every whole note, you do 32 of those. I don't know if in this case it's jeté or if it's just regular tremolo, but yeah, he does that a lot. And then towards the end of the piece, we get these weird moments of like pizzicato melodies almost, which is a really strange thing. This is the most extensive one up here, which kind of reminded me of like antiquity or like some ancient Greek like melody that is foreign to our modern sensibilities of like pitch organization. So it's like some weird thing is creeping into the piece. So yeah, I thought it was cool. Tomorrow we're looking at an equally important modernist cello piece. We're looking at Prussian by Lochenmann. Yeah, that was Nomos Alpha.